Hello, this is Ameta Martha with Collection Ascension, and tonight I will be pulling the energy for the last quarter moon on the 28th of October to the new moon on the 4th of November. What we're asking is just clear guided messages to help us be spiritually guided throughout this week and for us to receive messages regarding what we can avoid, what we can look out for, what we can anticipate. Also, this will be a two-part video for the last quarter moons. I do a chaos magic card spread. So I'll initially pull the energies and advice, and then I will split that to a second part where it is just the chaos magic, which by doing that I mean I will continue to shuffle cards as they come and place them to rewrite the energy for the highest outcome possible. And by doing that, I am creating a new reality out of those energies. So far with cutting the deck, I've been liking what I see. So let's get into it. Again, got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got it consistently every video so far. Hang on one second. There we go. Oh, followed by the World. We have also gotten the World quite a few times. Page of Cups in reverse, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 9 of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. Magician in reverse. Man, a lot to say, huh? Let me put these to the sides because it's 3 and 3. So let's just see if I can get 2 more, and then we'll dig into those as well. Dang, many. Little bulk things coming out. Okay. Alright. So we had the 2 of Swords and the Fool also. Interesting. I feel like for the first go with the Wheel of Fortune and the World, it's a new beginning, new opportunities coming out for us in everything that happens. We have the availability, not the availability. We are met with the option to view every single situation that we come into as a choice, to look at it with a filter of gratitude everything that comes up in our life can be seen as a prize, whether it feels good or not, because something good is coming either way, right? And even if something doesn't feel good, that in itself is still just us being able to experience something that doesn't feel great, so that we will be able to celebrate and feel blessed when that good does come on in. But as we are right now, or what's coming for this week, I think opportunities to have a higher view. Ooh, as I said that, even I noticed for the first time ever that these three are in gray clouds and this hawk or eagle is in a white cloud. So it's like that view I just said. Being able to look at the circumstances we go through here on earth from this higher perspective, and being able to learn from the gray, see all of them there in their gray clouds. However, with the Page of Cups in reverse, it seems as though we're not quite ready, or will be met with some resistance in these times to really receive that sense of enlightenment. And what that does, or at least this is a temptation, not set in stone. There's so many different outcomes and so many different lives and circumstances that this could just be saying that we will be faced with the same type of situations that has caused us problems in the past, and the only way to get through that is to just change, to respond to those situations differently, so that we can see them from that higher perspective, so we can take the time to ground ourselves in that moment, so we're not reacting in those lower vibrations and continuing the cycle. Because with these two cards that we continuously get to see, new is coming, more is coming. But with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, to continue to respond in ways that no longer serve us, to continue to engage in these situations that are here to help us grow in a more stifling approach, it causes a lack of abundance, or at least the perspective that we are in lack. It causes pain, turmoil, stress thoughts. Maybe this is just the way that the body feels in a fight or flight kind of a situation, a void of gratitude, a lack of oomph, the way that we can approach this when we're feeling up, when we're feeling motivated. It's coming to test whether or not we're going to sit here with our arms folded and our legs crossed and just like, I don't want to. I have all this stuff I'm already working on. I don't want more. Do I need to have more? And I feel like in my awakening process in the last 5 years, it's just constant. As soon as something is healed, something new comes up. And it was slow moving at first when it was in the like lovey phase of my spiritual awakening, and I felt just like the encompassing unconditional love of the universe and everything was good, trickling down the journey. It would be maybe 2 good months, and then a week of feeling down, and then another 2 good months, and then a week of feeling down. And then as I've gone through the dark night of the soul, it's just consistent work of, hey, we've processed this. It didn't hurt that bad. It's pain, it's suffering, it's past trauma, it's process. However, we're getting good at this. So as we do, you continue to move on and lay something to rest, validate something, make an accomplishment, whether it be small or large, and then here comes something else. It's like the higher we level up, the more complex the game gets, right? Which, going back, to choose this approach, to act in these ways that make us feel regret and kind of reset that lack mindset, the I don't want to, or just the general resistance we have here, puts us in a position where we no longer feel like we're in our power, and that causes heartache. But you know what happens? It always starts again. As soon as these lower experiences, this downward spiral of energy flows through itself, we're right back at the beginning again. We start over again. The universe shows its shining warmth on us over again, and then we're ready to start it over. And there's back to the view of more opportunity. So it seems as though we've been caught in a pattern, we've been caught in a cycle for maybe some time now. But with these here, this, there's promise that we can figure this out, and we can stop the cycle and start new and continue to develop on our journeys. And I don't know, seems like there's like the split. Maybe we are a collective, but maybe we're also in different places. Or this could just be different options, if we choose to go one way or we choose to go another way. Probably the latter, because what I see here is that with a lack of temperance and peace, when we do not approach these situations or interactions, conflicts, opportunities to ascend and evolve, and we see, because both of these have balancing aspects. Let's see, the cups and the pentacles. So when we choose not to balance ourselves in those times, then we have more to balance in the future when we're doing the inner work. And what that does is just resurface more pain that causes that response to begin with, that we have to continue to process, look at, shine light on, and accept, embrace. And then on this side, we can choose to approach these situations with something more positive, something that can shine more light in our lives, becoming that light, choosing not to speak when we know that we have identified the cycle and how sometimes these things that are triggering this emotion that's got this chemical flooding our body that wants us to talk in this manner that is no longer serving anyone in this situation, we free ourselves up, and then we can get moving. We don't have to be a diplomat over our lives. We don't have to have all the control, and we don't have to be stern in that moment of passion, the heat. We can reserve ourselves, sit back. Even that lizard there is resilient. We can just take a moment to rewire that automatic response, breathe into the moment, become present, and then gain some new perspective. Sometimes we have to go back before we can relearn and regain new wisdom. With the king in reverse and then the page coming up, that's a little bit backwards when it comes to maturity. But maybe we need to get a new perspective from a more innocent state of being. He's ready to go off and set through, to cut through those generational ties of iniquity. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more just to clarify these two sides before I move on to the oracles. With this, can you give me some clarifiers, please? Well, does that go over there or over here? Okay, well, let's see what the other ones are, and then I'll figure it out, I guess. Okie dokie. Are these reversed? Okay. So this does go over here, and this goes over here, even though I asked opposite. Alright. So though it takes work, and it requires us to hold our ground, even against ourselves sometimes, you know? So the way that it goes is that these situations can put us in that state of fight or flight. However, sometimes the worst thing that can happen is to function at that level, to speak out at that level. So instead of standing up for ourselves sometimes, maybe we need to stand up against ourselves to ensure that we are not continuing to verbally manifest a reality that's coming from a more negative belief system, and letting that come through. So, you know, to get disentangled from these swords and these bindings, it's gonna take work. But in doing so, we start to manifest a life that is different. We have the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So if we take our time to release the control over the situation and the people around us, applying self-control and resilience, and then, you know, stand up for what we believe in by creating new beliefs, we're going to create also a new physical life, because our mind, our thoughts, our words, and those beliefs do create what we physically experience. So then, to go through and have a new perspective gained through this Page of Swords energy, where we take action based off of that taking that step back and becoming that innocence again, we become the Hierophant. So to unlearn teaches us something new, gives us the ability to gain new wisdom. What we have learned through experience and negative beliefs that have been established from those experiences, to wash that out and rejuvenate let's say to wipe that board down so that now we can take new notes that are in more alignment with where we are now in our life. See, everything serves its purpose, but it also runs its course. So if we don't want to continue repeating this, we need to break those cycles by breaking those actions, by coming out of agreement with the negative beliefs that create the realities that start the cycles over. However, on this side, by not taking this time to apply this practice, it's going to cause us to need to take more time to reflect and rest, to go within and do some work, to lay old habits, past traumas, experiences that are re-brought up in the present through these opportunities for advancement that are not taken. We're going to have to take that time, because it will take diligence and hard work. It's going to feel like a lot to get this balance going, to feel this peace again, and to overcome this pain. We do have 2 tens though, which is promising. To not take such action, we need to take that time to just take a break, or else we're not going to have movement in our expansion. So if you want to keep moving on your spiritual journey, sometimes in the present moment, we need to keep our mouths shut and not act in those times that we're feeling less connected or less grounded and centered. we are not going to have that extra energy, that extra gratitude, that positive outlook to give to others. We are going to have to go and face our reserves for ourselves. How can you fill up a cup of someone you love when yours is empty? Either way, though, it's still going to start something new. The cycle will start again, as it always does, as it has. And you can try again by picking up this new, learned, and processed intuition and wisdom and passion to keep moving because you've gone through this. So for us to take this and move with it, it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to take a lot more work. But it's still going to it's going to bring us out in the end either way. That's how it goes. That's the point. If you didn't learn it now, you weren't meant to learn it now. And you're always going to have a new chance to do it again. That's the karmic cycle. Okay, so now I'm going to get some oracle cards from Sonia Choquette's Asking Your Guides deck. It goes along with her book. If you do not have a relationship with your spiritual team and guidance, I would recommend it. By the way, these are some angels and guides that we can access throughout the week in these times of struggle. So say somebody just said something and you want to pop off with your own little reaction and say your piece, do a thing, react in a way that does not serve you and others anymore, does not embody unconditional love, but you remember, hey, this is a temptation to react in the way that I know that I always act. What should I do? I'm going to take a breath, focus on your feet on the ground, count to 5, just taking that second to let your cortisol calm, and then these are who you can call on at that time. So let's go ahead and get some. Hello. Okay. Well, this is pretty. Okay. We have our higher self with judgment. Like I said, sorry with this glare. Okay, taking a better look at ourselves from a higher perspective in times of conflict. Ask the higher self, hey, what's the best thing I could possibly say right now? Please tell me, and I'll say that thing. What's that number? 46. Yeah, judgment. Instead of placing the judgment on others, take a look at yourself. A lot of the time, the thing that irritates us most about them is really actually more about a mirror reflection of what we're not seeing about ourselves that we have rejected, have learned to believe is unacceptable, etc. We also have rest with the Holy Spirit. So maybe just taking some time to reflect on these things and patterns and even try to notice what causes these things that come up. There's a deer back there. Deer and the dove are both quite about innocence and renewal. He's reading a book, but imagine if you're taking that time to yourself to look at your own patterns and take notes, write in a journal about your own inner workings of the mind, what causes you to respond in a way that you do when it is said in a way. We have loss with the healer guides, and in those hands we have the healing symbols too. They're offering, that intelligent infinity throughout everything to you with that stardust there. Sometimes it seems like a loss. Sometimes when we put this type of work in, people fall away from our lives because it's them that aren't serving us anymore. Not so much that the conversations that we have ourselves with them is the problem. It's that they are a physically attracted, lower vibrational relationship to teach you something. However, it does have purpose with our master teacher. This experience in itself is a master teacher, but if we do ask in those times, what is the purpose of this? And we believe that these master teachers are going to offer us new perspectives from that, again, that higher view, then we will achieve pleasure in our life with the divine goddess. Just having life blossom before us in this way, letting all of this potentiality be birthed. Let this opportunity that's been laying pregnant within our sacrals actually come forth and breach itself in our lives. Because we've been on this cycle for a long time. But there's so much divinity in it, and there's so much opportunity and possibility. So again, taking a look at ourselves with judgment in our high self, taking time to reflect in rest with our Holy Spirit, or the Holy Spirit, processing loss from the past, or calling on our healer guides if this loss is in the future or present. Either way, calling on the healer guides to help us to break these cycles and break these beliefs that no longer do serve us, so that we can see a higher purpose as a master teacher, and then recreate a new life of pleasure with the divine goddess. So those are our oracle cards. That was part 1's reading for the collective, and I just speak blessings over you and into your life in order for you to be able to grasp a new understanding and to take hold of this opportunity before you, in order for you to, no matter which way, for you to come to this brand new cycle, this brand new ascension period, and this brand new version of yourself. Thank you so much.